and welcome. It's Carolyn May, and my guest today on Two's Company was born and raised in London by Jamaican parents who came to Britain during the Windrush era. He trained as a social worker and youth counsellor, which he found sometimes challenging, but very rewarding. Now, from the age of 16, he had a passion for music, DJing, playing in pubs, clubs and pirate radio in London. In 2002, he moved to Spain and is now one of the most top go-to people in the venues for a singer of a soul, Motown or reggae evening. Now, keeping me company today is Barrington. Hi, Barrington.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. We're going to have a little bit of chat about your life and what you've done during your career. And
wow.
Yeah.
How much time have you got?
Well, we've got to try and condense it as much as possible, but we want
Okay.
to make it as interesting as possible because people
Sure.
want to know. You know, a lot of people see you out there doing what you do, and yes, they have a little bit of a chat afterwards with you, but they don't know you or what you've done or where you've been or anything. So today we're going to find out a little bit about that. So
Okay.
the first thing that I want to ask you is, when did you first start singing?
Oh, when did I first start singing?
And it doesn't have to be professionally.
I can remember as a child I was listening to reggae music.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing was, when I was growing up, the music that I was listening to was really good, and we used to dance to it. And my father had a record player, and we used to put records on. And I think that was my first connection with music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you obviously used to sing along, did you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Some I could and some I couldn't, because some of the words that were used in the songs,
Yeah.
as kids we weren't allowed to say those words.
Oh, right, okay.
But we did.
Yes, very much like today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so then, as you was growing up and you decided, you know, which career path you was going to take, you went to college and then on to university to do social work.
Uh-huh.
So tell me a little bit about that.
When I left school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, to be totally honest. Well, apart from I wanted to be a mechanical engineer.
All right,
That
okay.
didn't happen for me. Mm-hmm. And I started working in the school in the afternoon club. It was a play centre where kids, after they've left school, would go back in the evening, and they would take part in games and table tennis and stuff like that.
A bit like a community
worker.
centre, yeah.
And then it kind of grew from there. My interest in social work and stuff grew from where I grew up. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of violence and a lot of naughtiness that was going on, and people were getting arrested. And it's sort of like, you know, the part of London where most people wouldn't want to live, in the southeast where the troubles were.
Yeah.
But
And you felt that you needed to put a little bit back into that community.
I wanted to be different.
Help the kids.
Yeah. I wanted to be, and that's where my community sort of standing started. And I was interested in music, and started my first little band that I had called Charisma.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to sing back then.
Right.
We had a bass guitar, we had a lead guitar, and there was I, a self-taught drummer, playing the drums, and nobody wanted to sing, so I had to.
You had to sing.
And that was when it kind of kicked off for me around that time.
Yeah, and sometimes when you've got to sing, that's it. It's just you're pushed into it, aren't you? I had a similar situation with me, but that's for another show. But yes, it does push you into it, and then you realise, actually, I have got a voice, and where it can go and where it can lead you. Because you did some vocal training as well,
That's
then,
right,
didn't
yes.
you?
Yes.
So how did you find that vocal training? Because it's very diverse, some of the things that they use in vocal training, and
Different techniques that they show you, and you try them. You feel silly when you do them,
yes,
but they work.
they do.
And it's all about protecting the throat, not pushing too much, not having ice cold drinks when you're singing.
Yeah.
It's basically a muscle, and that gets used. Imagine you're
It gets tired.
a marathon runner and you're really hot. You don't take a cold drink of water with ice in it.
No. No.
You take room temperature
Yes.
to keep that going.
Yes.
When you stop, that needs a rest too.
Of course it does.
So you learn how to protect your voice. You
Yeah.
learn how to utilize your voice more: falsetto, head voice,
Yes.
chest voice,
Yeah.
and so on.
No, I get that because I'm a singer. I understand all that. So yes. Now, you've got a passion for DJing, and you DJ'd for quite a long time at pirate radio, I believe, as well.
Yes, I was on a radio station back in the day. It was called Rock to Rock, and it was one of London's biggest pirate radio stations. And we were also connected to Kiss FM.
Oh, right.
Because they were originally pirate DJs.
Yeah, yeah.
They got their license. We never got ours.
Right.
Because
oh.
a lot of them guys back in the day were trainee barristers and so on.
Yes.
So they knew the law. It led to them.
Yeah.
You know, good luck to them. And they did really well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the stations that never lived up to it fell by the wayside.
Yeah. Oh.
But those were the days. I mean, I power played records like Omar.
Yes.
Like Queen Latifah.
Oh,
We'd get them in on white labels and play
Yeah.
them, power play them on the radio.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
She's one of my favourite singers, I have to say, Queen Latifah. A lot of people don't know who she is, but very, very big in America. Yeah.
She's also acting now, and she's doing
She's done-
Equalizer.
she
Yeah.
does an awful
Very
lot of
good.
acting. She's done a lot of musicals as well, hasn't
Yes.
she? But
Talented,
yeah, very,
talented.
very powerful, fantastic voice. So, big question. How did you meet your wife, Julie?
Oh, well,
Because you've been together for a long time, haven't you?
yes. And people are quite surprised when they see us, and I'll say, "This is the boss." Oh, sorry, my wife. It's good
yeah,
for that.
you got the first one I think was right.
Yeah, I met her in a school, but not in school together.
Yes.
We were working in the school, and she walked in, and I looked at her and thought, "Wow," my own thoughts.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got together and clicked, and never really separated from that point.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's like almost like love at first sight.
Well,
really.
the thing is, you know, if you connect with somebody, you've connected, haven't you? It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's a lovely
Yeah.
feeling. You know, sometimes it takes weeks, months. Sometimes, like yourself, it just takes that instant.
Some things feel right. You know, some people just meet for the first time and that's it.
Yeah.
Boom. Some people have to go 2 or 3 times till they find the right partner.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there is a right partner, but,
Yeah.
but you click with someone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I believe that you proposed quite quickly as well.
And get turned down and turned down. I gave up. I
Did
gave
you?
up. And I thought, that's it. And then what happened? My wife proposed to me on leap year.
Oh,
And
lovely.
I said yes.
Yes. Oh, fabulous. So, obviously, your different careers and you use an awful lot of your different careers still. You know, people don't realise that, you know, that you're a trained counsellor.
Yes, I'm a trained counsellor and therapist.
Yes.
I was doing this when I was a social worker. I ran a drug helpline, helping young kids that were addictive to, they were glue sniffing and they had other drug problems. I ran that for a few years. So I help a lot of people in Spain as well. Well, I don't advertise that
No,
fact, but I do.
But it's nice to know that you do.
Actually,
these
we
sort of
both do,
things.
because my wife has the same kind of qualifications
Yeah.
and we work together as a team. And yeah, we do help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we get clients through word of mouth.
Yes, that's fabulous. Yeah. So you then decided that you was going to go off on your travels around Europe. So tell me where you first went to and why.
Wow, okay. We were looking at going to a place in France called, if I can remember the name of the place. My wife's sister lived in Switzerland, and she's lived in Switzerland since she was about 17. So we wanted to go and stay near her, but on the French border to where she was.
Yes.
I can't remember the little place, it may come to me. So that's what we're looking at doing, and we thought, right, we'll go there, we'll work, we'll improve our French, and then we
Yes.
can drive across 40 minutes to see her sister.
Yeah.
And what happened was, we got offered a job in France on the other side.
Oh, right.
It was actually in Brittany.
Yes.
So we took that instead and worked in Brittany for for 1 year, and then moved up from Brittany to a place called Saint-Gilles-Croix-de-Ville.
Okay.
And we were there for a few years working on a site, and I was singing and entertaining in the night time with 2 French entertainment companies.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Very
good.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of history.
yeah. So from France you went to, because you've been to several countries, haven't
Right.
you?
From France, we went to through Spain to Portugal, and we used to spend a good 3 months in Portugal.
Okay.
Same kind of thing. We were based on a campsite. We would work every evening doing shows in Portugal. We were looking originally to live there,
Yeah.
but at the time it was so complicated to get into the system, and I had German friends there that been trying for 7 years
Yeah.
to get into the system, like register the car, get all the paperwork
Yeah.
in place. And there was a lot of, I'd say, illusion for people that weren't Portuguese, because people would try and sell you their land and then say, look, if you give me a 2,000 deposit, I'll dig a well. If there's water, I'll sell it to you. People fell for that.
Yeah, yeah.
They found the water, sorry, the land's not for sale. There was all that happening.
Yes.
And a friend of mine bought in Allbox, and he said, Barrington, come down into Allbox, it's fantastic. He bought a mountain, 12 hectares. So I decided to go down and have a look, thought, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live in Allbox.
No.
I came all the way down here to Murcia,
Yeah.
and boom, I'm still here,
Yes.
23 years later.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's
to
a
me,
lovely area, isn't it?
beautiful area, yeah. So much to do, so many places to see. And I haven't seen everywhere, and I haven't been everywhere.
Yeah.
And I've been here for 23 years.
Yeah. So like me, you live about 20 minutes away from the coast. So the coast is quite accessible. You've got all your shops, everything, you know, everything around you. And you've got a fantastic community here at Campus Hall as well. So going back to your music, so what's your favourite genre of music?
Oh, difficult. I was influenced by a lot of people. Growing up, it was things like Nat King Cole. Loved him. The way he made a song, simplistic, but you try and sing it, it's very difficult.
Yes.
Bob Marley, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
The Glenn Miller Band.
Amazing.
The Rat Pack.
Yeah.
The influence, they were show people. They dressed up, they did a show. What's the guy's name? Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
With his dancing.
All the tap
Absolutely
dancing
amazing.
and everything, yeah.
And that, for me, I fell in love with the
charisma of the whole thing.
The presentation of a show,
Yes.
people in the audience dressing up to go out.
Yes.
And that influenced me a lot.
Yeah, me as an entertainer, I find that when you watch somebody that's made an effort to put an outfit on, to go on stage, to do a show, makes the whole thing so much better.
Yes.
Because somebody's dressing up to actually perform for you. And it does make a big difference.
It does.
It's very old school, but in my eyes, I think that's very professional. It's in my eyes, that's the way to do it.
I think it's kind of lost in our day and age because, yes, there are great shows and great bands and there's music happening all the time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, young women that are on stage highlighted, they're singing in like a bikini. That was unheard of.
Yes, no.
I
You
mean,
wouldn't have seen that in our day and age.
Yeah.
That makes a foundation, doesn't it? But, you know.
Nothing's left to the imagination.
Yeah.
Guys are singing, they've got their shirts off and they're doing all this. I think it's wonderful on an entertainment level, but we need to look at that and kind of reel it back in and bring the pride, bring the respect back.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, everything's changed. But maybe I'm getting older, that's why I'm looking at it differently.
I think as a youngster, a teenager, and in my early 20s, when I used to hear my mum and dad talk about things like this, I used to think, oh, they're so old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, what they were saying, in my eyes now, was actually correct. We just didn't realise it then.
Yes.
So you have different views anyway as you're getting older, don't you? In different periods in your life. You know, and your views either stay the same or your views stay the same, but other people's views changes. So, like you say, our views might be old-fashioned now. But,
Yes,
you
yes,
know.
definitely, yeah.
But anyway, so a few years ago, just after COVID, you fell ill. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about this because you know what it's like. I'm not talking just about Campus Hall, everywhere.
yeah.
Jungle drums, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, one people, oh, he's got COVID, he's got this, he's that, that. Well, actually, it wasn't COVID, was it? Would you like to talk about your illness and what happened?
Sure. I just lost my mum. I flew back to bury her. And the Caribbean tradition is that we shovel the earth on our dead. And it was a lovely day, the sun was out, it was beautiful, and we were shoveling the earth on me mum, by mum. It was lovely. And the heavens opened. There was not a cloud in the sky, but the heavens opened, it started raining, and we all got wet. And I thought nothing of it. Got in the car for a bit, came out, finished what we were doing. We came back to Spain, and probably 10 days, 8, 10 days afterwards, I just felt really tired. And thought, right, I'll get up tomorrow and do it. and tomorrow came, I'll get up the next day, and I couldn't get out of bed, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. I managed to get up and out and said, right, we're going to the car, we're going out today. I got as far as, which I call my car park area, is where I parked my car. And I fell over, hit the ground, and I couldn't get up. My legs and arms wouldn't work, and I still couldn't figure out what was going on. My wife managed to get me to hospital, and they took me in a wheelchair, took her to one side, and I never saw her again for over a month.
Wow. So very scary for Julie,
yes,
I can imagine.
yes.
And obviously you didn't have a clue what was going on.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Then I wake up and I'm saying, okay, right, we got shows to do this, that and the other. But my arms weren't working and my legs weren't working.
Yeah.
And I found out that I'd got double pneumonia in both lungs. They tested me for COVID 5-6 times. And anyone that's had a COVID test, you know, it's up the nose or at the back of the throat, and it's horrible.
Yes.
I was clear. Obviously, I had double pneumonia. They had great difficulty in getting me out of the coma that they put me in, because my organs were failing.
Yes.
So the messages that was getting back to my wife, I later found out, was saying, sorry, there's nothing we can do. We've tried everything. Yeah, they've moved me from one hospital to another hospital and then back. And then when I eventually woke up, one of the hospital staff from the other hospital came over to see me. They didn't believe that I was alive. They said, we don't believe it. How? And the recovery process was the hardest thing that I ever had to do, because
I can imagine.
My thinking was, I woke up, there was a tube in my throat, one up my nose, one back here somewhere, and I was being fed through a tube, and I thought, I'm ruined. I'm not going to be able to sing again. Yeah. Doctor said, yes, you will do in about a year. I thought, no way. The minute I got out of hospital, I willed myself, got into the studio, and I managed to sing for 30 seconds, and I was happy that I could hold a tune.
Yes.
Out of breath, it sounded terrible, but I could do it.
So did you have the tracheotomy? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So obviously that's going down. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And my voice changed, and people said, "Oh my God, you know, can he sing? Can he sing? Can he sing?" And I was very frustrated because,
I can imagine.
you know, my career's gone because I can't sing anymore. No, it changed for the better.
But you had the power and the foresight and the determination to get through this and want to sing again and build your voice back up again.
Yeah.
And do it little by little until you...
I not only did that, I went back to the hospital that saved me, and I now sing to the people in intensive care.
Fabulous.
From booth to booth. And my wife took a photograph of me and showed the people that I'm singing to me, a picture of me in the same bed that they're in, with tubes in, pointing it out. That was Barrington, this is what he looked like, and they was in awe. Oh my God. And some people were in tears, but I wanted to show them that I was there, and I wanted to get out of that room.
Yes.
And I wanted to move around, but I couldn't. And if one day had changed and they managed to wheel the bed out, I would have been so happy.
Yes.
So what did? We are working with the hospital, and we had the directors of the hospital, we had the chief of police down, and we've created a terrace out on the hospital, on the roof, whereby they can wheel the beds out now, and family can visit them with their animals, their pets, their children in the open air.
Fabulous, yeah.
And I'm still working with them to this day.
Yes, because there will be people that are in intensive care that can hear, that can see things, but they just can't do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so...
But what I was getting when I came out of hospital, people saying, "Oh, Barrington, you had COVID." It was COVID that did this, and I'm saying, no.
Yeah.
Okay. After I woke up, they moved me from intensive care into a ward, a COVID ward.
Oh.
And what happened in hospital?
Yeah.
I caught COVID
Yes.
in the hospital.
Yeah.
So people thought COVID put me there.
Yeah.
So I kept saying, horse's mouth, I'm telling you, this is what really happened. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know, just
So your career has really taken off again.
It has.
You know, you've had to sort of like build your voice back up, and you're back up to scratch, which is fantastic news, because you're such a fabulous and popular entertainer.
Thank you.
And I say entertainer because it's not just about singing, is it? It's about the all-round thing.
It's the whole package.
Yeah.
It's like what I said that influenced me. You know, back in the days of Nat King Cole, back in the days of Glenn Miller Band, back in the days of Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, they were entertainers. Singing was only a part of what they did.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And that's the magic I tried to bring back, as do you, because I've been to some of your shows. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The dress, the glamour, beautiful.
But I think you've got to love what you do, because that comes across in your show. And like yourself, I've got a passion about singing and entertaining people.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. But just to add a little bit to that, yes, I do love it and this, that, and the other. And my wife says to me, Barrington, what? Grow up. And I'm saying, no, I'm not gonna do it. She'll love this.
Yeah. So going back to that passion in the shows, we've actually got a show coming up,
That's
haven't
right.
we? Where we're both performing in the same show.
That'll be fun.
So yeah. So if you're interested in that one, that is on the 27th of June at Mariano's. Now, we've called it Bassey and Barrington because I'm going to come on first. I'm going to do my Shirley Bassey tribute. So if you've never seen that, it's basically I'm doing a tribute show to Shirley Bassey. So I've got the whole gear on, the whole dress, the diamantes, the wig, the shoes, the feather boa, the mannerisms, the songs, you know. So it's roughly about a 40-minute set of Shirley Bassey songs. Now, a lot of people think Shirley Bassey, oh my God, boring, big ballads all the way through. It's not. There's a lot of quirkiness in it. There's a lot of fun in it. I'm out in the audience tickling the fellas with the feather boas, and so a bit of audience participation as well. So that's the first part of the show. The second part of the show, of course, is you, Barrington. So if you want to explain what you're going to be doing in...
I'll be dressed up in a lovely suit or two.
Yes, looking very
suave.
suave.
And I'll be bringing you to that magical Motown era, looking at songs going back years, some of the classic songs that we all sing and that we all love.
Toe tappers.
And perhaps the audience will be singing along to us as well as you.
Well, yes, because we've got a little bit of a surprise as well, because we're actually doing some rehearsals at the moment, aren't we?
We are, but don't tell them too much.
No, we won't. We won't. We're actually doing some songs together, quite a handful of songs in the dance set, because after that there's the dance music, so you can get you up on the dance, you can have a boogie. I'm sure you'll already be doing that to Barrington's show anyway with his soul and Motown. But we are going to do some duets, so that means that not only do you get to see me doing my Shirley Bassey, Barrington doing his soul and Motown, but then you get a fantastic dance set as well, with duets, may I add. So there you go. So we're in rehearsals at that. But
we are. Yep.
You'll have to come and watch it. Now, if you want to come and watch that, you can pick up tickets from behind the bar at Mariano's. They're €15 a person, or the main thing, probably the best thing to do, is to just either text me or Barrington, let them know how many tickets you'd like, and then we'll reserve them for you, because this show will sell out, and the tickets are flying out already, aren't they? So if you do want to come and watch that, then get them reserved now. If you reserve them, you know that you're guaranteed a place, and it's going to be a fab show. So that's on the 27th of June.
That's right.
And that's at Mariano's as well. So, well, thank you very much. Is there anything that you want to add before we go?
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's nice to have a chat outside of what we do.
Yes.
But talking about a subject that we both love.
Yes,
so thank
it
you.
is. Oh, thank you very much. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. It really, really has.
Thank you.
So, and thank you very much for watching us here at Two's Company. Now, we're back the same time next week, and then we're in somebody else's company. But I hope that you can join us. Thank you very much from me, Carolyn May, and from Barrington. Thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, Barrington.